ladies and gentlemen. Today I am going to be doing my first episode of my retro review for the Doctor Who spin-off, Class. Now, if you guys aren't aware for the history of Class originally aired, it was October 2016, and Class was unfortunately limited to one series, and this was very unfortunate because it only had like 8 episodes, so there wasn't a lot of continuation for the series. But because I absolutely love the series that we had, and I do binge watch it on a regular basis, to be honest, I want to show my love for the series and do a retro review where I review the episodes after 4 years since they originally aired, and to discuss what went well and what could have been done better. And I'm going to evaluate that with each episode, and obviously I'm going to be starting off with the first episode called Tonight We Might Die. So I am going to be obviously doing that first episode. I'm going to be evaluating the characters, the plot elements, what was introduced, how it connects to the Whoniverse, and yeah, I'm going to be evaluating that all and giving it a score out of 10. So yeah, let's get into the retro review. So the thing about the debut episode is that it sets off the setting pretty much as soon as we launch the episode. So we know straight away that it's set in the Coal Hill Academy. There's obviously Coal Hill School that was made apparent in the first ever episode of Doctor Who. And we know this is the school where the Doctor's granddaughter, Susan, went to, and it's made various appearances in Doctor Who, whether it's been classic series or modern series. But just like other UK schools, it has been upgraded to the Academy status. But of course, because the TARDIS has been materialising loads of times throughout these various decades, there has been this little problem with cracks in time. And that has led to various monsters appearing in the school. So for example, in the 7th Doctor's era, we had the Imperial Dalek and the Renegade Daleks appearing in the serial Remembrance of the Daleks that was set around the Coal Hill School. And then obviously in Class, we've had the Shadowkin appear. And the Shadowkin are a very unique set of monsters just because they take the appearance of a just casual little shadow. And you think, oh, okay, we just got a shadow, okay, that's cool. But then as soon as, you turn your back and then that shadow was like, hello, we're about to end your life. Boom! Annihilation. So that is the uniqueness of the Shadowkin. We get to know the background for Charlie and Miss Quill's backstory, that they come from an alien planet and that they're saved by the Doctor. That is something that I always will remember from Class, just because I liked how the Doctor was portrayed as a god / fairy tale, a mythical person that showed up and was like, I'm going to save your life, but you've got to do this for me. And I just loved that sort of forefront. But it also made me respect Charlie and Miss Quill's characters so much, just because that they adapted so well. Okay, Miss Quill had some troubles adapting, but she did a good job. She was like one of those strict teachers. She put up a massive front and was like, yeah, okay, I don't really care about any of you, but when it came down to it, she did. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. So April, we were introduced to by the amazing Sophie Hopkins, and she was shown to be a shy pupil who had a lot going for her. She's very academic, and she wanted to organise the school's prom. And she stayed behind after school, with the Shadowkin going around. That's asking for trouble. And that kind of leads into some trouble. But she develops a little crush on Charlie that I thought was very sweet. And then boom, the Shadowkin are introduced. But we also got that with Tanya, who encountered the Shadowkin in her bedroom when she was video calling Ram to assist him with his homework. That's something that I loved about this class episode overall, because it laid down the foundations of how these characters approached their school life and how they kind of balance the school life with the whole alien shenanigans that is going on. So April, she's I wouldn't say she's a nerd, but she tends to keep herself out the way of the other things that are going on, and she just seems to be engrossed in just helping out, and that's why she organises the prom. She's sweet, she's innocent. And then there's Tanya as well, who's managed to be bumped up a couple of years, and she's like, okay, I just want to just get engrossed in my schoolwork and not really talk to anyone. And Ram's, the cool jock who wants to, play sport, do some football, and then he's like, okay, I want to get some help, and that's how he comes into contact with Tanya. And he's like, yeah, I need your help. And then we got Charlie, who's kind of out the loop because obviously he's from an alien planet, so he's just kind of just like, send help. And then there's Mateus, who is a really cool character. We didn't see a lot of him in episode 1, but he is introduced as Charlie's love interest. That is really interesting. We don't really see a lot of that develop in episode 1. We have to wait till episode 3, unfortunately. But yeah, we get that little introduction that his parents don't fully agree on the same-sex relationship or same-sex date as it is in episode 1. So we see them go to the prom together. They help out April, who is... I did like this dynamic that April is connected to Korakainis' heart, that I always think is an absolute splendid idea, just because that if April's killed, Korakainis is killed, but if Korakainis is killed, April's killed. It creates an interesting dynamic that they can't kill either, because they're going to lose out no matter what. And obviously that affects the war with the Shadowkin. And then we have the Doctor show up. The Doctor showing up was amazing. Like, I did reference before that obviously that the Doctor showing up was like a fairy tale, but seeing Peter Capaldi on screen, we had the remix of the whole 12th Doctor theme that was amazing. But just Peter Capaldi showing up and, just waving his sonic screwdriver about was really cool. I felt like it was a little bit of a quick fix for the Shadowkin invading the school. It was like the lights, and then it was fixed near enough. But I did like the brutal scenes where we saw Ram lose his leg, so he had the whole cybernetic leg. That was really cool. And I did like the character development that his girlfriend Rachel was killed off as well. That I feel like character deaths that associate to the main characters are always good to push the story forward. And that's one thing I liked about Class throughout its run, is that they weren't afraid to kill characters as they pushed the main character story out a little bit more forward, as they were losing characters that were so close to them and what they were associated with. But overall, I thought that the story of the first episode was really well done. We got introductions for all the main cast, that for spin-offs to that size like Torchwood, they did really well. They spent enough time just slowly developing the seeds for each character, and that we've seen, further episodes that developed well in their own way. But this episode did a really good job of getting us intrigued and invested in the characters that we saw in these episodes, and that is the most important thing. We learn about the school, how it's developed. Obviously Coal Hill is a big part of Doctor Who, and we were made well aware of that. We had Peter Capaldi, who obviously did a really good performance as the Doctor, and the main cast absolutely smashed it. So I'm going to give this episode a 9 out of 10. The only letdown was just that the Shadow King were just like, yeah, waved off. We know they do come back a couple times into the series, but hey, I did really enjoy it. It was a really good introduction to the series, and I cannot wait to review the second episode later on in the week, so that'll be really interesting to do. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have all enjoyed this video, and subscribe for more nerd content. I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.